Well, this movie isn't wrong. There's some danger, and there's some animals. Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Dangerous Animals, the newest film from director Sean Byrne. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wanted to go on a trip and you find yourself going deep sea diving or on the ocean with a guy you think is going to be cool and who seems to be on the level and eventually murders you and puts you to be fed to the sharks? Well, that's Dangerous Animals. It's about a story about a young girl named Zephyr who is kidnapped by a insane person played by Courtney, who intends on filming and recording and, of course, feeding people to sharks because he has a hungry appetite as a dangerous animal. So, as we know, the girl in this movie has to find a way to escape and not be fed to sharks. Well, she falls in love with somebody from Australia, and it basically turns into a kind of horror story of a maniac who does crazy things, and the woman who has to escape because she is the, final girl in a lot of respects. So I'm always up for a person has to attempt to evade or escape a killer situation. It's always fun. I wasn't like a huge fan of like Black Phone, but I love the idea of these types of movies where they're just out of their elements and they have to find the crazy scenario to get out of it. So Dangerous Animals with Jai Courtney playing, of course, the crazy serial killer seemed right up my alley, to be fairly honest. Jai Courtney seems like the crazy person that, has a lot of fun. I do think in the DCEU, he was actually pretty decent as Boomerang and stuff like that. And so here we have a movie that is a very low budget movie, is premiering in theaters, but Shudder later on in the year. And yeah, I thought from the trailer it was going to be kind of cool. So so I decided to watch this movie, and it's exactly what you expect. It's a woman who gets kidnapped by a serial killer, and she has to find a way to escape with various degrees of insanity and logic. And therefore, it's not a very good movie, but it's a very entertaining one, and that I appreciate because I don't need high art when it comes to my serial killer trying to feed people to sharks type of movie. And it's a movie where it just for 98 minutes you watch Jai Courtney be an awesome bad guy. It's what kind of how I look at it. I think he's great for this role. I think he's menacing. I think he does things that are very predictable, but you see as fun entertainment value. And it's just a very fun movie, to be fairly honest. It's right up my alley, just with movies that are over the top and silly. And it is very much a movie that just does what it does. The fact that there's so many Deus Ex Machinas going on in this movie is kind of prevalent, and it actually kind of ruins the ending. It kind of ruins how this girl has to get to the point where she has to get to. And it does do things where it's like, oh my God, that is kind of gruesome and disturbing. But yeah, it's a movie where I just had fun watching it. I was entertained. I thought it had some, horrifying elements, and I thought it did exactly what it needed to do. I just don't think it's a very good movie, to be fairly honest. I don't think it's a movie that is going to make you go, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched. I think it's just aiming for a good time at the theater, to be fairly honest. And once again, Shudder has varying degree of types of films. From the crazy, super violent to the scary to the bonkers to stuff like this that is very campy and over the top and silly. And I think Hassie Harrison, who plays Zephyr, is a lot of fun. There's also Josh Heuston plays Moses, who is kind of the love interest, and watching him how he plays out, you think maybe he's in league with the character played by Jai Courtney, but it turns out to be something completely different. And I think when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of this kind of short review, I think this movie knows what it is. I think it knows what it's trying to say. I think it's knows how it wants to play to the audience, and I think Sean Byrne does a pretty competent job as a director. I think it's a movie that you're going to go in, you're going to get exactly what you want, and then you're going to come out and go, cool, I'll wait for that to come to Shudder, or I'll buy that on VOD because it was just fun enough to watch and just entertaining enough to watch. So overall, I enjoyed this movie. It's very stupid. Jai Courtney is definitely going above and beyond the level of insanity and competency and stuff like that, but it is very much up his alley. It's what I think he's really good at. And in the end, to kind of end this review, if you like these crazy, weird, stupid movies with a lot of fun and a lot of gore, and really kind of do, like I said, the Deus Ex Machina thing where it seems more and more illogical as you watch, but you like some blood, I think this is the type of movie I should recommend for you. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that is my take on Dangerous Animals, which will be in theaters as well as, like I said, Shudder very, very soon. So definitely check it out if this is your type of movie. So there you go. But with that said, thank you so much for watching my review of Dangerous Animals. I do appreciate it. In the comments below, what is your favorite type of movie where the antagonist is taking on the protagonist in a we've kidnapped you and the protagonist has to find a way to escape and it becomes more and more convoluted. You know, those types of horror films. Let me know in the comments below. But if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. As always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.